Hey everyone.
Well, welcome home, my love.
I'm a little jet lagged. Back from Hawaii. Took a lot to get there.
Vacationing during COVID.
Yes.
They're going to write books about this. And I didn't go. I stayed.
And you got to rest.
She took the, other 5 people,
Yes.
your mother, your
Yes,
daughter,
all the
our
kids.
2 nieces.
Yeah.
And I rested. It was so awesome.
Yeah, so you got to rest and I went to Hawaii. It was lovely though. So felt a little bit normal
And
finally.
you guys had tamed your dragons. There was not that much drama on vacation.
No.
Usually,
it was busy.
the dragons are out there fighting and getting all crazy.
Nope, we had fun.
I had introduced you to Andy, the ancestral dragon.
I already know that dragon. I've been introduced to him many years ago.
He wants to smooch you.
Aw.
He missed you. He missed you.
I missed you.
So, we're going to continue on our series on the bad habit dragons. And I don't know that you read that part of the book, but there are actually 10 different dragons, bad habit dragons. And we talked about the yes dragons and the no dragons. You should have been here for that one.
What are you trying to say?
Tan and I, next Tuesday night, 5 o'clock Pacific time, we are going to do a special launch event for Your Brain is Always Listening. It's called 12 Steps to Recover Your Mind. You can sign up. It's free. We're going to be 90 minutes and we'll answer some of your questions. But we're going to unveil actually a brand new 12-step program for difficult behavior and
People
addictions.
saying they can hardly wait to pre-order your book.
They can
Or they
pre-order it
pre-ordered
now.
it, can't wait to get it.
Well, thank you so much. We're very excited. We've given away like 3,500 bottles of Happy Saffron.
Wow.
I know, we're
That's
almost
amazing.
out. So order it today at yourbrainisAlwaysListening.com. All right. So if you want to change a bad habit, there are 5 steps to changing a bad habit. So step number 1, you have to identify it. Mm-hmm. 2 is, what problems is it causing in your life? And the 2 habits we're going to talk about tonight, they cause a lot of problems. Recognize the cues and the triggers. Identify what's the reward, so what payoff am I getting?
The secondary gain.
From this.
Right.
And then develop a new routine.
Right. So when you say, what's the problems it causes, when I think of that, I think of, I want to know what pain, I want to feel the pain, so I can leverage that, right?
Right. And so tonight we're going to talk about the interrupting bad habit dragons.
Oh, so
these are
wait, so,
people. See, you just interrupted me. This happens more than I would like.
We've got 4 girls or 3 girls in the house.
And what does that have to do with anything?
No, 4 girls in the house. We have 4 girls in
They
the house.
have more language.
We have a lot of language in our heads.
So did you know males have language mostly on the left side of the brain? Females, because of estrogen, have language on both sides of their brain. And if you don't think females have more to say than males, you weren't raised in a family with 5, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sisters.
Right. We don't even sometimes think of it like we're interrupting. We just think we're sharing.
Okay. So what are the characteristics of the interrupting bad habit dragons? They interrupt. They talk over each other. They don't allow the other person to finish their thoughts. You are 2 words into the sentence and boom, you have been distracted. Thinking of a response before you even hear the whole sentence. Say the first thing that comes to mind. Dominate conversations. These people also have trouble waiting in line.
Oh, well. What does that have to do with interrupting? Wait. What does that have to do with interrupting?
Because they can't wait. It's the same mechanism.
But that's not the same thing.
You can't wait to say what you're going to say, and you can't wait in line. And what problems?
I wait. I'm not buying it.
Now, don't get into the no, bad habit dragon. So what are the problems this interrupting bad habit dragon causes? It hurts team performance and damages relationships. It limits communication, and people feel shut down. It's the most important thing I do with couples and with parents. You gotta let them finish their sentence. And then, before you say anything, repeat back what you hear so you really are listening.
One thing that I think it also in some ways hurts the person who's interrupting, because you're not present. You're not really hearing what the person is saying. So it's hurting your relationships because you're not actually paying attention.
Well, and you're making your comment more important than the relationship. I loved what you said, because that's exactly the issue. You are not present. And if you're not present, you're not seeing the other person. So this is really important.
One thing that can help is looking at the person when they're talking. Not just thinking about what you're going to say, but really looking at the person when they're talking.
Right. So what triggers the interrupting bad habit dragon? Conversations. It's worse when you're tired, when you're angry, when you're intoxicated, or when you get overwhelmed by the partner's words. And this often happens between males and females. Some guys, it's like it's just too many words, and so they interrupt.
Caffeine. Caffeine does that to me.
What reward do you get from interrupting? Well, you can vent, you can blow off steam, you get your point across. You have to be right, but it's damaging the relationship. And so, if you have one of these interrupting bad habit dragons, realize the impact it's having on your relationships. Ask, then what? If I do this, then what's going to happen? And then practice a technique I love, I read about in the new book called active listening. When someone says something, repeat it back. Listen for the feelings behind the word. And if you think you're going to forget your thought, write it down in the notes section on your phone.
Basically empathy training. I like that.
It's so important. All right, quickly. One more bad habit dragon. This is the disorganized bad habit dragon. Characteristics, they're disorganized for time, which means they're late and everything's at the last minute. And their space, it's messy. Their room, their desk, their book bag, their paperwork, their files. And the problem with calls is they lose things and they end up with late fees, and it irritates others and it increases stress for them and for others. And the triggers, being in a hurry, deadline, space, and these often go together, the interrupting bad habit dragon with the disorganized dragon. Their reward is they think it saves them time. Actually, it's not saving them time, it's just causing a mess. And so and I did this for my son who had this dragon. I hired a professional organizer who came in, organized his space, but then came back once a month for like 4 months, and it just figured it out, how to be better organized. Schedule similar tasks together, limit time thieves, mostly your phone, to-do lists. I operate on a to-do list so I don't forget things. And other people will steal your time. Have you noticed that?
Oh.
So what I listen, and I figure that, because, by the end of my workday, and I have 30 messages from patients, and I'm like, and some of them it's just a quick question, and I would deal with it, and others were talkers. And so now, all my patients are going to know this. I start conversations with, I only have a minute.
Right.
And that way, it forces people to get to the
Consolidate.
point. Now,
right.
I don't start all the conversation. I don't start it with Tana, for example, or my mom, or one of my friends. But if you're with someone who's stealing your time, and you want to get back to them, start with, I only have a minute. They're more organizational tips, and why I put it in the book is it's so stressful.
So and if you're
to
not
live in a disorganized life.
If you're not naturally an organized person, I'm not naturally an organized person. So which is funny because I'm super weird about like my car has to be clean. Like I like to be put together. Like so there's things that I need to have done a certain way. But my space, like you always say, like I've never met a cabinet door that I ever wanted to close. I'm not naturally organized. So what I did is I created but I'm not late. Like I'm not late.
You're not.
So I'm like, I need to have things done a certain way. And I think that's why sometimes I will sacrifice some things in order to not be late or to be put together. So what I did is I created this rule for myself. I have a 5-minute rule. So it's a little weird, but it's a 5-minute rule. I need to know that things are not beyond me being able to get everything put back together within 5 minutes. So it's like, as long as I can get everything put away and cleaned up and put back together in 5 minutes. And then it's like, I can get, if it gets beyond 5 minutes, I can't, then I get stressed out. So yeah, that's how I control it.
And I realized I'd way more have you here than have to throw away a wrapper you haven't even seen. So, anyways, we're going to talk about both of our books next Tuesday. And public television is our new show, Overcoming Anxiety, Depression, Trauma, and Grief. Starting this weekend, nationwide, check your local public television stations. We're really excited, and we're going to highlight Your Brain is Always Listening, but also notice how these covers match. The Relentless Courage of a Scared Child, rated 4.8 on Amazon. If you haven't written a review for it, please do. When you pre-order the book, please write a review. Your Brain is Always Listening. I know you'll love it. We have links below. You can know your dragons, knowyourdragons.com to figure out your dragons. And also, Your Brain is Always Listening. Pre-order the book, get 4 free amazing gifts. Welcome. And
we are looking so forward to you checking out the PBS show and letting us know what you think. Comes out this weekend.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.